guys, what's up? This is Nayan here from Barrack Solutions, and today I've got the Kingston 32GB on the go USB, which is very small and miniature in its size. So I will be reviewing it, though it's very good looking in its design, but on its performance section we need to check it out. So let's begin the review. Here is the Kingston 32GB on the go USB. You have a black cover for your micro USB adapter. So basically you just pull the black cover and then push it from bottom to top, and you have your micro USB exposed. You can use this micro USB with your Android devices, and this section is the standard USB port, so you can use this port with your normal USB ports of your PCs or your laptops and transfer files from your PCs or laptops. So let's try connecting it with our Android device through the micro USB slot, and there it goes. Now on waking up the device, we will go to the notification center, and you can clearly see it says USB storage connected. So now in order to access your USB storage, that's the on the go USB, you need to go to the Explorer application, and in the Explorer application, that is basically the file manager application. I'm using the default file manager in my case, and my phone is Xiaomi Mi 3, which is running NVIDIA Tegra 4. So I can just choose either the USB storage or the internal storage in my file manager, and I choose the USB storage, so I can access all the files on this USB storage. I have already transferred few files, so let's have a look at a movie. It's a 8GB file and it's a MKV 1080p file. So let's try fast forwarding it or rewinding it, and you can see it works perfectly fine. But there's one important thing to note, and that is your processor of your Android device should be powerful enough to handle such movies, because it's an 8GB 1080p MKV file, and decoding an MKV file is not an easy job, especially from a USB on the go USB that you're connecting to your Android device. So I'm lucky enough to have NVIDIA Tegra 4 on my device, and that's why it's working perfectly fine. And then let's have a look at some documents. So you can see it works perfectly fine, but it takes a bit to load, but still you can access your documents on the go. So let's go back to USB storage. Oops. And let's play some music. Okay, cool. So it works perfectly fine. Let's try transferring some data from your Android device to the OTG, but make sure that the OTG is compatible with your Android device. Otherwise, you won't be able to make transfer from your Android device to your OTG. I'm getting some great speeds over here. So on an average, I get around 10 megabytes per second. We talked about the performance and how the on-the-go USB works. But what about its drawbacks? Let's talk about the first drawback. The grip of the on-the-go USB with the Android device is very weak. It can be easily moved even after it's connected. And second, you require minimal amount of pressure to remove it. So basically, it's very loose. Now let's compare this with the official Xiaomi USB cable that comes along with this device. So when I connect it, there is a click sound which confirms that the wire is connected to the Android device, and which is very important, because the first time I used the on-the-go USB and I connected it, I was actually fidgeting more with the USB, thinking that it's not connected, but it was connected. Second thing is that the on-the-go USB does not completely go inside the micro USB slot, which I think it should. And what I want to show is when I'm removing the official cable, you see I need to apply some good amount of force and hold the wire firm, otherwise the wire doesn't come out. So that's something which I feel should have been there with the on-the-go USB. Now another thing which I find very irritating and annoying is this black cover, which I need to constantly open, and in order to connect this to the Android device. And second thing, it will lie like this at the bottom when I've connected on-the-go USB to the Android device, and it's very irritating if I'm keeping the phone on the ground. so which I think should not be there. Another drawback of this OTG is its compatibility. It supports only a few Android devices, and if you have an incompatible Android device, then you can only read files from OTG but cannot write files to the OTG from the Android device. So that's like the compilation of all the drawbacks that I could find. Now this OTG is a great device to buy if your Android device is compatible. If it is not, then it is not a device worth buying. So that's it with this video, guys. I hope you liked it. Please rate, comment, subscribe and visit techbarrack.com.